Bago pong lahat, para sa iba pang balita, huwag po muna ninyong kalimutan mag-subscribe sa JB News, i-like at i-share at i-on na rin ninyo ang notification bell para updated po kayo.
Magandang umaga po, Ginoong Gabby Lopez III. At ipagpaumanhin po ninyo na hahaba po ng konti ang pagtatanong po namin sa inyo. Kanina po, ng mga naunang nagtanong sa inyo, si Congresswoman Diane Bautista, tinanong po niya kayo, kaugnay po ng pagkakakuha ninyo ng identification card bilang isang Pilipino, kung kayo po ay gumamit ng alien fingerprint card. Natatandaan ko po, sinagot ninyo, hindi po ninyo matandaan. Tama po ba yun, Ginoong Gabby Lopez?
Magandang umaga po, Congressman Marcoleta.
Opo.
Opo. I don't recall what the process was involved in 2001.
Salamat po. At dahil hindi nga po ninyo matandaan, tinanong po ninyo ang inyong abogado, si Attorney Bautista, kung baka naman siya po ay natatandaan niya. Ganon din po ang sinagot niya, hindi rin po niya matandaan. Tama po ba yun, Attorney Bautista?
Tama po yun, Congressman Marcoleta.
Na hindi po ninyo natatandaan, ano po?
Kasi po, hindi po
Opo,
ako
hindi lang po.
abogado.
Hindi po ninyo natatandaan.
Hindi po akong abogado humawak na yun eh. Pero sinabi po sa akin
Salamat
na
po.
malamang meron.
Meron po kasi akong kopya ng alien fingerprint card. Medyo malabo lamang po. At totoo po, ito ipakikita ko po sa... Bibigyan ko po ng kopya ang ating committee secretary para makita niya po. Only to refresh the memory of Mr. Gabby Lopez na sila po ay gumamit ng alien fingerprint card. For the record lamang po, Mr. Chair.
Maaari niyo po bang ipakita sa amin ngayon, Congressman Marcoleta?
For the record, Mr. Chair, I will approach the chairman to show this particular document.
Yes, Congressman Marcoleta.
May I request, Mr. Chair, that that particular document should be shown also to the President of ABS-CBN.
COMSEC is directed to show the document to the side of ABS-CBN.
Station, I have gone over the document and I saw that it was a document. The authenticity of that document, may we request a certified true copy coming from the Bureau of Immigration.
COMSEC is requested to get certified true copies from the Bureau of Immigration.
Mr. Chair, with that request, I would like to request further that even the fingerprint cards which indicate that it was utilized, that fingerprint cards, Mr. Chair, would also show that it was an alien form.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Zarate.
in line with the manifestations of our colleagues, subject then to the proper authentication of these documents coming from the Bureau of Immigration.
Salamat po,
going
Mr.
to
Chair. Pwede na po
defer?
akong magpatuloy.
May we, subject to the authentication, because if it is not yet authenticated, my question now is, are we going to allow questions being propounded on that document not yet properly authenticated?
Mr. Chair, I am no longer asked question on this particular document. Ginawa ko lamang po ito to refresh the memory of the lawyer as well as Mr. Gabby Lopez na talaga pong meron po na ginamit na alien fingerprint card. Pero
Yes, Congressman
hindi ko na-
Marcoleta, you still have the floor.
hindi ko na
Please
po
continue
gagamitin
with
to.
your question.
kanina po kasi, tinanong po kayo ni Congressman Boyeng Rimulya, ni Sir Lopez, kung kayo po ay kalahating Pilipino o kalahating Amerikano. Ang totoo po nun, meron pong underlying significance po yung tanong na yun. We should not forget that the very issue here, Mr. Lopez and Attorney Bautista, is Article 16, Section 11 of the Philippine Constitution. Ang totoo po nito, hindi natin paglalabanan yung issue na kayo po ay American citizen at saka Pilipino pa. Talaga pong napakaswerte po ninyo at hindi po ninyo kasalanan yon. Totoo lahat po ang sinabi ng mga abogadong nagsalita na kayo po talaga ay isang American citizen at isang Pilipino. Wala pong debate doon. Nung kayo po ay hindi pa nagmeme-ari ng ABS-CBN, wala pa pong problema yun eh. Nagkaroon po ng problema nung kayo po ay nagkaroon na ng pag-aari o kasama na po kayo sa pamamahala ng ABS-CBN sapagkat isasangguni po natin ito doon sa Article 16, Section 11, kung ito po ay nalalabag. Attorney Bautista, this is a very honest question to you. Did Article 16, Section 11 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution contemplate a situation where the Filipino citizen mentioned in that particular article should also be another citizen of another country?
Tinatanong po ninyo aking opinion? Opo, pwede po. Wala pong nagbabawal doon.
Hindi po. Ang sinasabi ko po
Wala
ganito.
po yan.
Ganito po, para malinawan po tayo. Ang sinasabi po kasi doon, yung pagmeme-ari at pamamahala ng isang mass media company ay limitado lang sa mga Pilipino. Wala po sanang problema doon kung si Ginoong Gabby Lopez ay Pilipino lang, hindi pa siya Amerikano. Yung tanong po kanina ni Congressman Boying Rimulya, nandito po yung pagpapakahulugan dito eh. We will have a problem processing that particular issue. Kasi po ang sinasabi lamang doon, tanging Pilipino lamang. Paano po natin isasangkot ang kanyang pagiging American citizen within the meaning of that constitutional provision? Tandaan po natin, Attorney Bautista, hindi po kasalanan ni Ginoong Gabby Lopez kung siya po ay napanganak sa Amerika. Hindi po rin niya kasalanan napanganak siya sa Pilipinong mga magulang. Kaya dalawa po nga yun eh. Ang nagiging problema po natin dito, ang saligang batas, matibay ang kanyang paninindigan na Pilipino lamang. Pati nga po korporasyon, kooperatiba, asosasyon na magmeme-ari at mamamahala nito, kinakailangan ding wholly owned and managed by such citizens. Kinakailangan po kasi palagi tayong gumagalang sa probisang saligang batas. Ngayon po, balik po ako doon sa tanong, kalahating Amerikano po ba kayo o kalahating Pilipino? Bakit po palaging doon ako pumupunta? Ngayon po kasi, pinaninindiganan ninyo, talagang kayo po ay Pilipino. Kahit kailan hindi nyo ni-renounce ito. Mr. Gabby Lopez, kung talaga pong nasa puso ninyo ang init ng isang pagka-Pilipino, patriotismo, bakit po naman hinintay po ninyo ang 48 taon para magpa-recognize po kayo bilang Pilipino?
Kong Marcoleta, last question na po yan. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, pwede pang may second round po ba ito?
Palista lang po para sa next round po. Kung kulang pa po yung mga tanong.
Opo, pero pag gano po, kung hindi ko matapos kasi nagsisimula lang po ako eh. Pwede po mong sa second round po ako.
Opo, papalista po namin.
Salamat po. So
Thank
yung
you.
tanong ko pong naiwan, bakit po hinintay ni Ginoong Lopez ang 48 8 taon bago niya naisip na kailangan pala niya ng isang identification certificate at ma-recognize siyang Pilipino. Ang tanong pong ito ay para kay Ginoong Gabby Lopez. At pagkatapos, iiwanan ko pong tanong ito, Mr. Chair, kung ito pong pagiging Pilipino niya ay automatic. Automatic po eh. Bakit kakailanganin mo po na magpa-recognize ka in 2000, in year 2000? Yung pong dalawang tanong muna po na yun kasi wala na po akong panahon, Mr. Gabby Lopez. Salamat po.
Thank you, Kong Marcoleta. Mr. Lopez, pwede po niyo sagutin.
Yes, salamat po. No? With regards to the second question, it was really to avail myself of a passport that I asked for that recognition. I don't understand the issue of 48 years. What does a 48 years refer to, Congressman Marcoleta?
Ang inyong pong rason lang ay para lamang makapag-apply kayo ng Philippine passport. So it took you 48 years para lamang po makakuha kayo ng Philippine passport, kaya po naisip ninyo na magpetisyon kayo, makakuha kayo ng recognition na kayo po'y Pilipino.
That is correct, Congressman Marcoleta.
Kong Marcoleta, pwede po siguro natin kunin ang opinion ng DOJ. Kasama rin po natin sila sa Zoom para baka bigay rin ng clarification sa inyong mga tanong.
Meron pong isang naiwan na tanong, Mr. Chair. Kung ito po ang pagiging Pilipino po ninyo, Mr. Lopez, ay automatic naman. At totoo naman pong kayo natural born citizen having been born to Filipino parents. Ito po ang espiritu ng Hugh Sanguinis. Automatic naman po pala. Bakit kailangan po pa ninyong magpa-recognize? Dahil lamang po doon sa issue po ng pagkuha ng Philippine passport, hindi po ba? Sinagot niyo po ito sa tanong po kanina ni Congressman Rodriguez. Dahil lamang po sa Philippine passport, kaya kinakailangan po ninyong magpa-recognize bilang Pilipino. Yun po ba?
Opo, Congressman Marcoleta.
Salamat
and,
po.
My lawyer, Bautista, will add additional points.
Second round po ako mamaya, Mr. Chair. Wala na po akong panahon.
Salamat po, Congressman Marcoleta, sa mga tanong ninyo.
Attorney,
Yes, sir.
brief response lang po and then kunin natin yung sagot po ng DOJ.
Brief. Nagpapasalamat ako dahil ngayon maliwanag na inaamin ni Congressman Marcoleta na Pilipino si Gabby Lopez. At inaamin din naman namin na Amerikano siya. Yung po sinasabi na bakit po ninyo hiningi yung Certificate of Recognition.
Mr. Chair, point of order, hindi ko po tinanong si Attorney Bautista. Yung pong tanong ko po ay kay Mr.
Yes,
Gabby Lopez.
nasagot na po, Attorney, ni Mr. Gabby Lopez yung tanong po ni Congressman Marcoleta. So ngayon, dito na po tayo sa DOJ. You have the floor.
Salamat po.
Mr. Chairman, may I turn over the floor to our USEC, Emeline Aglipay Villar, who is with...
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Una po, tungkol po doon sa pagbigay ng konfirmasyon ng DOJ sa citizenship ni Mr. Gabby Lopez, hindi po ito pamamaraan ng pag-grant o pag-perfect ng citizenship. Dahil po, siya po ay merong magulang, both father and mother, na Filipino citizen. Kaya po, sa kanyang pagkapanganak, siya po ay isang Filipino citizen. At tama rin po, dahil siya ay napanganak sa United States, ay siya din po ay isang American citizen. By birth, both Filipino and American citizen. Ang kanya pong paggamit ng kanyang US passport ay hindi po dahilan para mawala po ang kanyang Filipino citizenship. At ang hindi naman po niya pagkakaroon ng Philippine passport ay hindi rin isang dahilan na hindi siya maging Pilipino. Dahil katulad nga po ng nabanggit ko kanina, sa kanya pong pagkapanganak na may Pilipinong ama at Pilipinang ina, ay nagbibigay sa kanya ng pagka-Pilipino niya o ng kanyang Philippine citizenship.
Claro, and Attorney Bautista can reply to this. In 1996, February 1996, you were issued an American passport. Is that correct, Mr. Lopez?
I don't recall, Your Honor, when my...
Yes, but it would be doesn't have to be exact, but it was sometime in the mid-90s, Mr. Lopez, that you were given a passport. I mean, a renewal of the U.S. passport.
Opo, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just read, and Mr. Lopez and Attorney Bautista can reply to this. In one of the conditions in the application of a U.S. passport, in the acts or conditions, and if I may read, Mr. Chair, for the record, if any of the below-mentioned acts or conditions have been performed by or applied to the applicant, the portion which applies should be lined out, and a supplementary explanatory statement under oath or affirmation by the applicant should be attached and made a part of this application. Ito na po yung quote. Application for a U.S. passport. I have not, since acquiring United States citizenship, nationality, been naturalized as a citizen of a foreign state, taken an oath or made an affirmation or other formal declaration of allegiance to a foreign state, entered or served in the armed forces of a foreign state, accepted or performed the duties of any formal renunciation of or been convicted by a court or court-martialed of competent jurisdiction of committing any act of treason against or attempting by force to overthrow or bearing arm against the United States or conspiring to overthrow, put down, or to destroy by force the government of the United States. Ang act and condition po na to sa pag-apply ng U.S. passport only means that you are giving allegiance to the United States and no other foreign state. Very clear. Again, Attorney Bautista can answer. If you signed this application and you're given a passport, therefore, you are repudiating any other citizenship, and you're saying that you're giving your sole allegiance to the United States of America, Mr. Chairman.
Attorney Ayaw will respond, Your Honor.
Attorney Bautista, you're recognized.
Salamat po, no? Maliwanag po sa Commonwealth Act number 63. Nakalista po doon yung modes by which Philippine citizenship may be lost. Number 1 po, naturalization in a foreign country. Maliwanag po na Mr. Lopez was never nationalized. Pangalawa po,
Mr. Bautista, if I may again call your attention, when he applied for a renewal in 1996, he signed as part of the application the part on acts or conditions. And if I may read the particular phrase, that you have not made an affirmation or other formal declaration of allegiance to a foreign state, which will be construed, Attorney Bautista, that you have sole allegiance to the United States of America. Kaya po tinanong ko yung application ng Philippine passport. Kasi, wala hong ganun eh. Pero sa US passport, nung nag-apply noong 1996, and even before that, very clear that part of that condition is you will have sole allegiance to the United States of America.
ang sagot ko po doon, hindi po tayo dalubhasa sa American law dahil we are Philippine lawyers. Ang sinasabi ko lang po that under our law, he never lost his citizenship when he applied for or obtained foreign passports.
Mr. Chairman, the best evidence is the document itself. The signed document is the best evidence. I don't think we should be arguing on that matter now. I think that if there is an application for a passport renewal, we should get a copy of the same so that we know what, or at least a copy of the form signed, so that we don't have to argue on the on the merits of the said document, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Kong Boying.
Given that, Congressman
Defensor.
Remulla, maybe all we have to do is download the application
form, yes.
the form of for the renewal of the U.S. passport, Mr. Chairman. So again, I just wanted to clarify that. Pwede po niyong i-download yan, makikita po yan ng lahat ng tao. Pag ikaw ay nag-apply ng renewal, kung ikaw ay U.S. citizen, parte ng kondisyon doon ay wala kang pagkampi o wala kang pagkilala sa ibang bansa o sa ibang gobyerno, kundi ang gobyerno at ang bansa ng Estados Unidos. I may now go back to my second point. Doon po sa ating Constitution, and it was read by Attorney Bautista earlier, the ownership and management of mass media shall be limited to citizens of the Philippines or to corporations, cooperatives, or associations wholly owned and managed by such citizens.
From 1986.
Congressman Remulla,
Congressman Remulla, pakipatay po
your
yung
mic is on.
Pakipatay yung mic niyo.
So, I read now Section 11 of the General Provisions. Tinignan ko po yung definition ng word na wholly owned and managed by such citizens. And ang definition po niya is entirely, fully. Under the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition, it is full or entire or completely. Kaya, again, on 2 points, I maintain my position that the question of citizenship is not just a question of whether you are a dual citizen, na yan po ang pinagdidebatehan ngayon, tanggap na Pilipino ka, pero ikaw din ay Amerikano, at yung pong question ng citizenship sa allegiance. Yung una pong tanong ko sa passport, yun po yung sa allegiance. Ito pong tanong ko pangalawa, dun sa general provisions, yung definition ng wholly owned and managed provision. Now, I go back to my question on ownership. Mr. Lopez, from 1986 to 2020, how many shares do you own? Magmula po nung panahon ng 1986 nung kayo po'y umuwi at pinatakbo na po ang ABS-CBN, gaano kalaki ang parte ng inyong pagmamay-ari sa korporasyon?
Your Honor, I don't have that number with me right now. It is not a significant number. Most of the shares I got is from the employee stock ownership plan of ABS-CBN. It is not a significant, statistically significant number. The ownership of the family is through Lopez Holdings and through Lopez Inc. That owns 56% of ABS-CBN. Individually, all of us perhaps own shares of stock, but none of them are significant, statistically significant po.
Opo, so kung ito po'y aayusin, kunyari ho, yung meron sa Lopez Holdings, meron sa sarili ninyo, more or less so, ilang kayang percent ang lalabas po dito?
Yung sa akin,
Si Eric Quezon.
perhaps Eric Quezon can answer this question. Eric?
Mr. Yason, you're recognized.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I don't have that information right now.
Maybe don't have. Shares of
But
stock.
we could submit that.
Yes, yes. Okay, Mr. Chair.
Pakisubmit na lang po next time pa.
So yes, part of anyway, the request is to get. And from 1986 to the current Mr. Chairman, I understand that Mr. Gabby Lopez is already Chairman Emeritus, but from 86 to year 2020, what positions have you undertaken as part of management of ABS-CBN?
I-unmute ako.
Paki-unmute lang yung device ni Mr. Lopez, please.
Salamat.
Pakimute.
If I recall correctly, I started as CFO, then I became general manager, then I became president, and then I became chief executive. I retired as chief executive when I turned 60, and I retired from being a chairman when I turned 65.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, again, we would like to thank Mr. Gabby Lopez for giving us the time and to answer the questions. Isang tanong lang po, Mr. Lopez, you may or may not answer this question. Pero, again, everyone have been telling you that, we know that it is not your fault. Hindi niyo po kasalanan na kayo po ay isang American citizen dahil doon kayo pinanganak, at hindi nyo rin kasalanan na kayo naging Pilipino dahil po ang mga magulang nyo ay Pilipino. Kung doon po sa pagdaan ng panahon, hindi nyo po naisip na mag-renounce ng American citizenship para maging kabuuang Pilipino na po ang inyong maging citizenship, Mr. Lopez?
Yes, I have considered it. But, the way I see it, I am first and foremost Filipino. I will live, I will die in the Philippines. That is certainly been the family's position, and we are 7 generations of Lopez's in the Philippines. Frankly, the issue of being a dual citizen is not even something that I think about. I know in my heart I am a Filipino, and all my actions in the last 35 years I've been associated with Abs-Cbn has been with the service of the Filipino in my mind. So, you are right. It is something that I should have considered, but it was never something that I felt was an issue in terms of any of my actions. If it came down to conflict of interest, I would give up my U.S. citizenship in a minute.
So, thank you, Mr. Lopez. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
At ilan lamang po yan sa mga nakalap naming informasyon para sa araw nito. Huwag kalimutang i-like, i-share at mag-subscribe sa aming Liana Vlogs News YouTube channel. Muli, ako si Angelica de los Santos. Magandang araw.